So what was missing in all of the pieces was there was no collective effort on social media marketing, and I would say a digital marketing. Somebody was doing a LinkedIn but not going with the Facebook marketing, or let's say somebody who was doing Google PPC but was not doing a Facebook marketing on that phase. There was not a collective effort anywhere which was done. So that's what we're going to unlock in this particular webinar, that how do we kind of combine all of the interactions and get a better lead generation and a better ROI. So just a brief about me. So I run a startup named as Social Panga based out of Bangalore. I have a pretty good experience in search engine marketing and the social media marketing. I'm also a trainer for digital Vidya for that per se. And I've consulted brands like Snapdeal, Star Sports, TV18, Big Bazaars. I'm coming from all domains, whether it's real estate or whether it's an entertainment sector. Quite a good amount of experience on that space. Now, reaching to our first slider. So I'm not a good reader from the slides. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this slide as a reference point so that we are trying to take up all the agendas of our webinar. But I'll try to keep more amount of a time for your questions during the end of the session. But in case you have the questions coming in context to particularly towards what I'm reading out from the deck, feel free to ask those questions meanwhile we are discussing. Okay. So most of the times, if you look at the traditional media, what you do, you get a list of numbers from third-party source and keep on calling those numbers. Let's say most prominent source of these numbers are telephone operators. So you catch on upon any agency which is providing Vodafone numbers in that particular area and get hold of the whole database and start calling them. That's a pretty good idea in that phase. For a credit card company, it's very good. Why? Because if a new connection is coming into a particular territory, he or she might be needed a credit card also. A good prospect over there. But looking at the reverse scenario, if somebody gives his or her number to you rather than you doing a cold calls, obviously the quality of lead and the ROI would be generatively much higher in that case. Just looking at this kind of a setup, if you see initially the OLX, Quicker, what these guys used to do, every advertiser, their number used to be present over there. But how Common Flow reversed this psychology. When you wanted a home for a rent, what Common Flow did was enter your requirements and the person who wants to rent it out gonna call you up. So there was a now clear matching of the requirements. So it's saving their time also and it's saving the quality also. So you put your information that okay, I'm a bachelor, I needs a house in this particular location, and instead of you calling the person who is ready to rent out an apartment is gonna call you. So a perfect balance has been maintained in both of the ends. So what happens in that case is the quality of leads increases, your time is saved, and your ROI is much higher. So that's what we're going to discuss in this particular webinar, that how do we increase our ROI, how do we increase the quality of the lead which we are getting, so that we go away from these old traditional medium of cold calls. The one which I discussed in the start, the times are definitely changing. No one on an online platform can assure the best ROI. So the one I stated was, let's say you are on a Facebook and treat yourself as a company and you are outsourcing your Facebook page to, let's say, an agency like me, and your agency promises you that I'll get you 10,000 likes, 20,000 page engagement reach, some sort of an metrics over there. But there would be 1 out of 100 agencies or 1 out of 100 person who would assure you that I can get you 50 leads out of this platform. Why? Because A, these kind of a platforms only assures you reaching out to a person. The second thing, the agency who is kind of utilizing this platform, if that agency or a person utilizes it to the best form, then only he or she can extract the leads out of it. Yeah, reaching out is possible. Perfect. Reaching out is possible to each and every individual is possible, but getting the lead or seeing the interest or capturing those interests and then following those interests is more important than just tapping it. So if you kind of focus only on Facebook or only on Google or only on LinkedIn, it's practically very difficult to extract some kind of a juice out of it. But yes, if you kind of use a very collective effort by linking all of your social medias or all of your digital marketing platforms, then the juice extracted from that platform will be much, much higher. So let's go. So what we're going to discuss in the webinar is just kind of structured in 6 different pillars. What all 6 different platforms which we're going to integrate so that we get some maximum ROI. So previously done sessions or previously done webinars by me or somebody else is primarily talking about one platforms, or they talk about digital marketing importance overall. But in this particular webinar, how it's different or how do we gonna make it different is we're gonna connect all 6 of the platforms which you're talking about as of now. So how do we connect it? Suppose you advertise on a Facebook, then can I advertise the same person on a Google, or can I advertise the same person on LinkedIn, or looking at the vice versa? If I'm advertising on a LinkedIn, can I tap the same person on a Facebook, on a Google, or on a Facebook? That's what we're gonna talk about in this webinar. So how will digital help you? You can accurately target your audience on the basis of gender, age, demography, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows that by now. So this is something is already set, a set needs by a person. Everybody knows that you have your gender, age, and demography on your Facebook profile page, and Facebook gives you an opportunity to an advertiser to target those people. Let's say you have inserted your age at 17, and the advertiser has their dashboard in front of him, and he can target a person with an age group of 17. So you will get that ad. That is something now prerequisite. Everybody knows that about it. But how do I know that that particular person whose age is 17, I can convert them as a customer, or I can generate a lead from that person? So that's more important. Yeah, we know the demographics, but what's the next step of it? Do we need know their behavior? Do I know that he's traveling by a cab so that he might, I can advertise it with, let's say, an auto? Is he traveling with traveling through an airplane? Can I advertise him in the hotel deals? So that's what we're gonna tap upon. So now what's happening currently in the industry is most of the people who are starting with the digital marketing are focusing like this. They are sending a newsletter to their customers or their prospects in that person, and once a newsletter or a ad comes to your inbox, there's a call to action, buy this, or even a hyperlink to it. Once you click it, you go to their website, or else you go to their landing page. Similarly, let's say you're searching Google. You search something, let's say you're searching for digital marketing classes. So you search digital marketing training, and you get a link onto the top. Let's say you're getting a link of Digital Vidya itself. You click onto that link. Then it takes you to a website or a landing page, which may be asking information, let's say name, email address, or something like that. Similarly, when you are joining the webinar, there was a form, correct? There was a form which was asking information about yourself. So $100 says that Digital Vidya gonna market you again, push some emails onto your inbox, maybe with the services of Digital Vidya, saying that we are a digital marketing company and we do a digital marketing training. So they're getting that vital part of your information, name and email addresses. Second is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, everybody knows about this platform, so I'm not going to discuss about this. So LinkedIn also has some small snippets of ads, suggested pages, that kind of an ads coming over there. If you're going to click onto that, that also even takes to you even to an article or a page which asks for your information, or to their main website. Facebook, I think everybody would be knowing about this. There are 2 types of ad which comes onto the Facebook. One you see on your right hand side, and the one which you see on your news feed. Now, if anybody clicks again on the news feed, it takes to the website, or even it takes sometimes to your pages or to your landing pages. That's pretty much clear, and I guess most of you would have seen that. Now, since when I talk about this, I talk about joining all of these 5 things. email, Google, LinkedIn, Facebook, and your website. As of now, we are working in silos. I'm not saying everybody is working in silos, but what I have encountered in few of the social media plans, which I'm discussing with some companies, I've seen that these are working in silos. Why silos? A B2C company says, boss, I want to sell this product, let's say it's a mobile, and I think advertising on Google is waste of money for me. I just want to target on Facebook because my target audience is just on Facebook. But I agree your target audience is youth, let's say 17 to 25, it's on Facebook, but do you think they are totally on the Facebook 100% of the time they're on Facebook? Obviously no. Once they're on Facebook, they might be going to entertainment websites, they might be going to the sports websites, or they might be going to the Times of India websites. Correct. So we're gonna join all the 4 pillars which you're talking about right now and the website thing. So before kick-starting with that, since I see the profile of a lot of people who are joining in here, some of the students, some are coming from the digital marketing the first time. So I'm just gonna give a little background that how things work for the lead generation, so that when I go to the next step, you kind of have a little bit brief of it. Let's say I just took a screenshot online. Let's say you're searching for social media training, and onto that particular page, you get an ad of Digital Vidya. Once you click onto that ad, the ad is coming onto the page. That means an impression happened for that particular company or that particular ad. Once you click on that particular ad, what happens is this kind of a page opens. Correct? This kind of a page opens. Now, there are 2 options coming onto this page. First option is either you close this page. Okay, I don't have any interest in Digital Vidya. I just want to close this page. The second option with you is you fill in your information and do a register now. If you do fill in your information, that means a conversion happened or a lead is generated. So this information goes to Digital Vidya, and what Digital Vidya does is tomorrow morning they give you a call, boss, you show interest in digital marketing training. Do you want to avail our services? Then their sales team do a follow-up. So this is a conversion happened and lead is generated. So this lead is kind of a pull kind of a lead. Why it's a pull kind of a lead? Because you yourself searched for social media marketing training. That means that there is the need of the searcher. And Digital Vidya is just telling me, okay, among all the players, we are also there onto the Google page. Do you want to avail our purpose? So this is kind of a pull which is being created by the end user. Now, if scenario is this where lead is generated and it's been collected by Digital Vidya, it's a very good situation, correct? Because Digital Vidya has the information. Now, let's go to the other part of it. If a user came to this page and went away, how do I capture a person who just came to the page and is not available? Let's say he didn't search digital marketing training again. So that means that Digital Vidya won't appear into the search results. And at the same time, he is a youth between 7 to 25 who's totally spending their time on Facebook. We're going to discuss that. So this is a normal way of a lead generation. Now, before I move forward, how do I tap a person who leaves from the page of a landing page without filling up information? I'm going to show you a small video on this page and talk about a little small concept before I move forward and talk about the different mediums and tying it up. I hope everybody can see my screen, plus I'm going to play a video. So what I did here was, I went to Myntra.com. I was browsing towards their collection, seeing Manchester United t-shirts coming from Nike brand. Then my mom called me for dinner. So similarly, the same stage. In this stage, I opened this page and my mom called me for dinner and I closed this. Look at the next follow through steps which happened here. So what happened next? After this Myntra.com, where I was browsing through some sweatshirts, I kind of closed that Myntra.com. Now what was next? I went to sportskeeda.com. What happened now is, where my buying journey, I went to Myntra.com, searched for a few t-shirts and just went away. My buying journey was not completed. Correct? Now once I went to a sportskeeda.com, I got the same particular ad of Myntra.com. Now instead of sportskeeda.com, if I might be going to Facebook, I might get the same ad again. So basically the last step was remaining, which was buying. The customer went away from that landing page or that particular website, which was captured by Myntra, and this was remarketed to me depending upon my browsing habits. Let's say Myntra was only marketing on Facebook. Then what it would be the case? That the Myntra ad would have been coming just on Facebook and it won't be coming on a sportsgear.com. That's why I talk about the collective marketing while we join upon all of the platform availables. Let's going back to this. So we talked about two particular concepts. First was the lead generation and second was a remarketing. Now let's go and talk about all of the four pillars. The first step, when we talk about the importance of a PPC campaign or a Google AdWords, that is something which you see when you search on Google and you see top 3 ads and certain ads coming on your right hand side. So why do I want to feature over there? Stats says that 57% of the people who do any purchase start their research from their search engines. So what happens is, if you're gonna buy, let's say, a laptop and you are pretty much sure that you're gonna buy this laptop from Chroma, but still what you're gonna do is you're gonna search it online and then maybe make your decision. So there are two kind of things here. One is the paid ads, which we saw in this case, right inside the top, paid ads, and another was in search engine optimization, that are majorly the organic results. Now I discussed this before also, it's a kind of a pull strategy. Why it's a pull strategy? Because somebody is searching for you and you are appearing over there, then it's a direct lead or a very good lead about it. Now coming back to the same digital Vidya's example, somebody came to that landing page and didn't fill their information onto it. Now you know that that particular person had an interest in digital marketing training, but he or she is not ready to put in their information. The person will leave from that landing page. After a certain amount of a time, what will happen? That lead will become cold. What we want that that particular lead becomes a lot amount of warm. Am I audible? I see certain things that I'm not audible. Am I audible, guys?
We can hear you. Gaurav, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So the best part about this is, if you are able to capture that particular person who is just visiting your website, not pushing their information, if you're able to capture that, that still remains a warm lead. Because if he goes on to different platforms, even he goes to Facebook, even he goes to any of the different websites where I can push in my particular ad, it remains a warm lead. So what happens, what I'm saying right now is, a person coming to Google, searching for any specific term and pushing their information or not pushing their information. If he or she is not pushing their information, He's still on the landing page. Then I can market him through Google Display Network. So the ad which were you seeing on that Sportskeeda site, that was coming from Google Display Network. I can target him from Google Display Network. I can even show my ad on my Facebook. So look at the same thing. Anybody who's only targeting the Google page, like Digital Vidya, that means that person searching on Google will be only able to see his ad. But now I'm moving a step forward. I am marketing my particular brand through Google Display Network and also through Facebook. So now when he leaves Google and goes to Facebook, he will see my ad. Even he goes to Times of India, which also shows ad coming from Google Display Network, he will see my ad. Even he goes to Ghana.com, which also runs Google Display ads, he will see my ad. So seeing my ad on Times of India and Ghana.com will obviously increase my brand equity also, brand value also, because such big websites are displaying my ads which are coming through Google Display Network. So here I'm tying a whole 360-degree over here. A person searching on Google, clicking onto that particular ad, is taking to the landing page. I can advertise him or catch hold of him on Facebook also, on some other websites also, and definitely on Google. And if he does fill in the information, I have an additional way to market him through email marketing. Okay, going to the next step. Let's talk about an intelligent move also over here. So guys, I guess most of you guys would be using Ola apps, or let's say Uber apps, Paytm apps, and you have an option on the top, log in with Facebook or log in with Google. Correct? Now, this becomes very easy for you. Just click over here and just do a login, rather than just fill in your username, password, get a link on your mail, then kind of verify that. But what's there in for Google or a Facebook onto that? Especially for Facebook, when you see the demography which is provided on a Facebook, correct? That's the back end of it. Now I'm moving to the next slide. Look at the features which Facebook is providing me so that I can target a particular person. Let's say you're using the Facebook login for Ola cabs, correct? And I am, let's say, Uber, and I want to target people who use a travel app. Just at the back end of it, Google provides a platform to providing a platform to all of its advertisers. Facebook is providing a platform to all the advertisers that you can target a person who has used that travel app in last 1 month. So there are days which are not far away, that the day you say that I am into a relationship, or I am just broken out of a relationship, you might be getting some Ghazals ad coming on your right panel. So each and every small activity which you're doing on a Facebook is being tracked and is given on a platter to the advertiser. Go guys, go and advertise onto it. So now when I talk of a linkage of a Google and a Facebook, Google is kind of a very much a pull strategy because it's a search kind of a stuff coming over here. But as soon as I come onto the Facebook, it becomes a push strategy depending upon the behaviors or a demography onto that per se. But if you see what works on Facebook, majorly if you're gonna push particular ad onto the basis of a behaviors, is definitely works on Facebook. But when I talk about something as likes of a page, let's say I have 1 million likes in a page. Does that mean that if I put a status update on that particular page, 1 million people gonna see that? So I'm handling couple of Facebook page and they all have likes more than 50,000. A single status update doesn't mean that update will go to all of the people over there. What happens is that particular update is on your page and Google says, please pay me more money to push that particular update to all of the 50K people. So the organic reach without paying anything to Facebook is just about less than 1% of your page likes. That's totally different when you talk about page likes. So there's a lot of misinterpretation when you talk about the number of page likes. People think that if I do a status update, it goes as a notification to everyone. It doesn't go as a notification. Facebook, Pawan. So I'm going to repeat the whole scenario what happened, just joining Google and Facebook. A push and pull strategy, both of them very closely, coherently working. I search on a Google and I get Digital Vidya's link or some XYZ website link. And basically that is kind of a pull strategy because I'm searching. So I get the first link as my intended advertiser and I click onto it. From this, I capture the behavior, correct? I capture the behavior that this person is interested in digital Vidya. I gonna advertise on different websites. How a different website? That different websites comes from Google Display Network, which is Sportskeeda, Times of India, Ghana.com, millions of websites. But when this particular person comes to Facebook, I can advertise the same person on Facebook also. This whole funda of marketing a same person on different platform is known as remarketing. And when I come to Facebook, I kind of tap my audience onto the basis of behaviors. So I can majorly say that Facebook is majorly kind of a behavior kind of a stuff, behavior and the information that the user provides to the Facebook or the kind of a behavior you are doing on the external platforms. When I say external platforms is something like on your mobile, which is using your Facebook login, you can tap that to your prospects. So now going forward onto that, now we have LinkedIn coming over here. So when LinkedIn comes onto here, most of the people say that LinkedIn is a costlier affair, especially the people who are in the B2B market. They see that LinkedIn is giving them a much better leads. By much better leads, I'm talking about the quality of leads. So they give you a much better leads, but what happens next is they say that it's a very costly affair. A click coming onto your landing page or LinkedIn page is minimum of $2. $2 means roughly around ranging from 120 to 200 rupees per click. Now, what happens now is, if somebody clicks onto your LinkedIn page, basically LinkedIn ad, it goes them to your website or it goes onto your landing page. If you are not capturing that particular person behavior or that particular person who's coming to your website or a landing page, what will happen here is this particular person is being not tapped on another platforms. Where if I see a cost per click on Facebook will range from 4 rupees to 20 rupees, which is 6 times lesser than LinkedIn. Who said the person who is on LinkedIn will not be on a Facebook? I totally agree onto the point that if I want to target a person with a particular income level or a particular experience level or a particular job role or a particular designation, let's say I am targeting a marketing manager. So it's very difficult to target a marketing manager on a Facebook, but it's very accurately can be targeted on LinkedIn. So I am targeting marketing managers on LinkedIn. He sees my ad and what happens next is he clicks onto it. Then he comes to a website and he goes away. That means my 150 rupees being lost. I need another 150 rupees to get that same person coming on the landing page. Correct? By joining all of my marketing platforms, if I would have captured his behavior, I would have captured that particular person who's coming onto LinkedIn, he or she will definitely go to Times of India, will definitely go and listen songs on Gaana.com, or will definitely go to Facebook, correct? If I can capture the same person or advertise the same person onto the Facebook platform, what will happen is my cost per click will reduce from 120, 150 to 10 rupees, which is 12 times lesser. So that means if I'm targeting one particular platform, I need to target another platforms, just not to make that lead warm or so that I don't lose that lead. I need to capture or capture the behavior so that I save on my money also. So my ROI is much, much, much better. So guys, keep pushing your question on chat window on your questions. So I'll take on once I complete the deck, just 5 to 8 minutes more, and then I'll take on all of the questions. So now goes on to the Twitter. So I don't know how many of you seen a recent kind of a conversation between Zomato and Miller. I just kind of copy pasted it for you guys. So most of the companies hire people for Twitter doing a Twitter marketing. So honestly, there is no big fund of Twitter marketing. The only thing which stays on Twitter is just content. If your content is interesting, if your content is interesting to your intended users, it will definitely be a win thing for you. So it will be totally revolving around your content and how do you play tricky on Twitter. So I'm just gonna talk about this Zomato reply. So what happened quite a few days back, Zomato kind of changed all of the logos of certain brands and kind of gave them a foodie twist. So to Jill it, it made it grill it. To Ray-Ban, look at Ray-Ban. Nike made it just brew it. And Subway, sorry, I read it wrong, it made it a pub day. Now, what happened was, to Miller's, it made it its dinner time. So what happened next to it? Somebody tweeted tagging around Zomato with it and Miller over here. So Miller gave an interesting reply to it. Here's a Zomato toast to all discovering great places to drink around. So kind of a conversation going over there between the brands, just not the users. Now what happened next was, Zomato again tweeted that cheers, we should probably catch up over a drink sometime. DM to decide who brings the beers. What was the next step? Within a span of 2 hours, Miller delivered 2 crates of beer bottles to Zomato's office. And after an hour, Zomato replied with an empty bottle of beers, TGIF. So this kind of a conversation is what happens on Twitter. So if you think that Twitter would be a major lead generation platform for me, yes, it could be. But when we talk about Twitter, it's a small 144 characters kind of a limit. It's majorly how much gossip or how much content you could push in that particular limit and engage your audience. That's how we talk about Twitter over here. So I'm gonna go back to the particular slide where we had all of those icons over here. So now, if I talk about it again, let's say it's an email. A person comes on email. You send an email to a person. The person clicks onto the email. That means if he clicks, he goes to a landing page or a website. If he goes to that landing page or a website, I can capture that particular person or I can capture his behavior. Now, rather sending an email again to that particular person and spamming him till he buys it, I can advertise him through Google. When I say through Google, it's something on Google Display Network. So I can market on places like Times of India, Gaana.com, hundreds, thousands and millions of websites which are on Google Display Network. Now, again, not LinkedIn, but Facebook. I can again market him on Facebook. because he came to my landing page or my website, that means he has shown a little bit of interest. I can market him on my Facebook. So just with one trigger of an email, now I have 3 platforms on which I can tap that particular user. So I am capturing a 360-degree whole marketing effort online. By I'm saying 360-degree, I am saying on all of his activities online, whether he's on a news channel website, whether he's on a Facebook, whether it's any social network website, I'm able to market him. Let's say I'm on a Google, which I talked about as a pull strategy. Now on Google, since it's a pull strategy, somebody's searching onto it. Since somebody searched onto it, and similar to the page which we saw for Digital Vidya, maybe people have inserted their information. If they haven't inserted the information, let's say they have inserted the information, then again, I have 3 different platforms again to target. Mail, I can mail him. I can show my ads on Google network. I can again show my ad on Facebook network. Now going to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is, I would say, very appropriately, very much targeting a niche audience onto the basis of job titles. Let's say marketing. Again, marketing people are seeing that particular ad. This particular ad, if somebody clicks onto it, goes to that particular landing page. If he or she fills that information or not fills that information, now after this particular step, I would be able to market him or her on all 4 platforms. So that's the point I want to make it very clear. When I have a chance to market him on all 4 platforms wherever he go, why should I only market him or her on one platform? If I have an option to market him on a Facebook, I should market him on a Facebook. It just not decreases my amount of money I'm spending, but it also increases the chances of conversion or increases my branding also. Correct? Okay. So I'll take on the question in a minute. This is how all 4 kind of work in tandem rather than in silos. If all 4 are working together, the ROI, if you collectively see then ROI, it's much lower if I compare one particular platform working in silos. Just not an ROI perspective, but also if I say in that perspective that in that perspective of a quality of lead. If somebody clicked onto the page and came to the landing page, then I'm again advertising on a Facebook and then he gets convert. That means that he's really interested. So the quality of lead which you will be seeing when you are using all 4 platforms together is much better than when you're using one particular platform. Okay, so I'll try to spend rest of the time. I'll spend the rest of the time talking and answering to your questions. I'll read out the questions which are written. If anybody has more amount of questions, just write it into the questions panel. Just want to wrap up in a quick 2 minutes. So online marketing is just not about reaching out to your prospects. So basically it's a part of becoming their online consumer behavior when we talk about reaching out on a different platforms. Again, when we talk about quality of leads and ROI, it's not that you are focusing on a wrong platform, it's just that you're not focusing on a bigger picture. So that's what I had in 40 minutes for this webinar. You can connect with me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is the Big Villa. My ID is gaurav@socialpanga.com. So as the name suggests, our company also is big enthusiasts or fanatics of Bollywood movies, and so that this name came out of from that particular scenario. So what I'll do is I'll take on your questions. I'll read on the questions which been pinged on the chat window. So I'll go to from bottom to up. First is Vikram. How does Google display network on mobile sites? So Vikram, through Google AdWords, Google gives us a platform, which in that case I can create mobile specific websites, and even a person who who comes on my particular website, let's say my website was digitalvidya.com, I can show Digital Vidya ad onto the mobile site also, or a person browsing on a mobile. So I can create mobile sites or mobile ads and push that onto the mobile devices. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so Jerry says, I want to know if you're teaching us concept only and practical how to do it. It's just a webinar, not practically, Jerry. How to know exactly which person is clicking my ad? So you won't be able to know that which person is clicking your ad, but you would be able to capture that person. Let's say somebody came to your website, you would be able to know that some XYZ person came to your website. So this, what happens is, this particular, you create a kind of a list. So the list keeps on increasing. So let's say 100 people came to your website, 200 people came to your website, then you can keep on marketing to those 200 and 300 people till the time you don't get, maybe let's say, their phone numbers. Okay. So next question here is, just a second guys. Okay, so I'll take on the question. So going up, Vivek says, does Google Network covers Twitter as well? No, Google Network doesn't cover Twitter, Vivek. Twitter has its own platform. When you see that promoted tweets, that's totally different. It doesn't cover that. So Nancy says, so as per, we should not go for LinkedIn, or we should use the mix, but this is costly approach as we are running on ads on LinkedIn. So Nancy, look at the bigger picture as of now. You are targeting marketing managers. Every time he clicks, it will be 150 or 200 rupees. But if you can substantiate or increase your budget with 10 or 20%, I'm not saying come on the Google search network. You just need to remarket that particular person. Correct? So you're spending on a LinkedIn and you're spending on Facebook and Google just to remarket that particular person. For that, trust me, the total budget will increase just by 10%. You are just remarketing to that particular niche audience. Okay, so going up, Mukesh says, one more question, how to capture individual user behavior which comes from landing page either. So two things to this. Mukesh question is how to capture individual user behavior which comes to a landing page either from Google or LinkedIn ads. So this way, you want to say that behavior as in he came to your page, then whether he filled in the form or not, or wherever he goes. So for this, you should install something known as Google Analytics to capture the individual user behavior. You can also come to know about the demography and the different aspects once you install your Google Analytics on your pages. Going up, Pawan says, is it possible to link Facebook with Google Display Network? So you mean to say that somebody coming onto your Facebook, so Pawan, just answering your question, somebody coming onto your Facebook and clicks onto it and you show their ad onto the Google Display Network. Correct, Pawan? Was that your question? Yes, you can do that again. Okay, there are lots and lots of questions. I'll take 15 minutes more to. Okay. Just a second, I'm just gonna track the questions. Okay. If somebody is commenting bad, my ad, comment how to proceed. Teja, not able to get your point? Commenting bad as in you want to say when you're pushing your Facebook ads and he or she is commenting on that, which are not in a good sense. Okay, meanwhile I'll go move to next. Is there any platform or service available which is able to provide all marketing? So they are custom platforms available here and there, but nobody provides such an efficient use of it, because if you see, LinkedIn has its own platform, Twitter has its own platform, so that's why people hire agencies which kind of take care of all of their marketing. Manu, that would be something in Google AdWords panel. It's majorly on a process standpoint, so I might not able to answer that. But yeah, you have a remarketing over there. Ashwini, again, you need a Google AdWords account, and to that you can do ads through Google Display Network. I searched for digital training on mobile but didn't see any ad. Vikram, there might be the case the ads are not pushed on mobile side by an advertiser. So you basically, it's not by an IP, indirectly it's by an IP, the remarketing. So Teja says that I can track only IP addresses. So it's indirectly by an IP, majorly the cookie stored in your browser. Through that, Google comes to know that this person visited this particular website. So through the remarketing concept, Google can push ads through Google Display Network. Google will not give you any information, Govind. It will just give you a platform. You can market them again. Yes, you can track on that. Yes, there are single platforms, Rahul, which helps you market on mobile as well as on web. So Ray, are you talking about the total user behavior on your website? Then it's totally an answer is Google Analytics. So maybe we might run on time. So I will request you push in your questions to my particular Twitter ID as well. I'll be very happy to respond over there. Okay. So do you suggest use Google AdWords rather than LinkedIn? So Lakshmi, again, it depends upon your target audience. If you want to target, let's say, people from FMCG sector, it's a purely B2B kind of a stuff, I'll definitely prefer LinkedIn. But something like an e-commerce website or a travel app, or let's say a grocery app, that kind of stuff will definitely go in together with Google plus Facebook. So Ambrish, there are millions of sites that Google search network, every site. I think you're getting confused between Google Display Network and a search network, Ambrish. Moving to next question, as our ads get displayed in Google Display Network, please let us know what are Google Display Networks. So I'll take an example. So that's pretty much clear since 2 or 3 people have asked this question. Let's say you are on Sportskeeda only. Let's open that Sportskeeda. Everybody can see this website. So now onto this website. As of now, okay, I've put an ad blocker. So on every website you will see an ads coming onto it, correct? A banner ads coming onto it. So that kind of a banner ads comes from Google. And Google pays some amount of money to Sportskeeda, and Sportskeeda earn it, and an advertiser pays some amount to Google. So Google basically acts as a platform over there. Yes, Rahul, you can give it the ads. You said the customer will see same ad on Facebook. Yes, Pawan. Pawan, if he clicks that ad, if he comes to my website, not on Google search page, but he comes on my website. If he clicks on my ad, he will be able to see that ad on Facebook as well. So Manu says, how to, again I answered that. Nowadays CPL campaigns are running. Do it worth ROI? Yes, Rahul, definitely worth of an ROI. So I've been kind of a consulting couple of real estate companies and educational institutes who are selling, look at the real estate, a lead costing them, let's say 400, 500 rupees, and they're able to sell a plot worth 30 lakhs. can I talk about better ROI rather than this? So that can an ROI can be generated through Google AdWords. How do we customize ads? Any tools that help design? So Aparna, I might not be able to answer that. By customizing an ad, you say the Google display ads. Correct, Aparna? Thanks, Lakshmi. I still have 8 minutes. So I'll type in my email ID as well. And my Twitter ID. So we still have 8 minutes. I'll take on questions. So hold on for 8 minutes. That's my email ID. That's my Twitter handler. Okay, I answered it over there. Just a second. Just a second, guys. So guys, I'm putting a poll. Kindly answer that. Is PPC available on mobile searches? Can I have a link to the search behavior? Rahul says Google Analytics. Let me just see the common trends in the question, then I'll answer in a one single stance. If we pay to LinkedIn, we can see that who saw our profile. Likewise, no, Teja, you can't see that. Surya says, thank you, thanks Surya. Yes, Rahul, that is, there's lots of software, so you can go to a software name as Hootsuite, HOOTSUITE, that helps. Can I, as a server service provider, give ads on Facebook? Yes, Rahul, definitely you can. Are Google ads biased towards specific browsers, say Chrome? No, Vikram. Can I, as a wedding provider? Okay, Rahul, I answered that. So Manoj has a good question. Manoj says on Facebook, we need to retarget by a user ID or a simple by post ad. So Manoj, you can target them onto the basis of behavior or an interest. Plus, you can also target them if you have their phone numbers, even you have their email IDs. So once you create an account on your Facebook, it is majorly onto the basis of your of your email address or a phone number. If you have any of those and the person has put the same onto your onto their Facebook panel, you can definitely target them. So Rohit says, if person comes on a website, for example, Vidya, then leaves, we want to target a particular customer via email. Not through email, Rohit, correct? He hasn't inserted their details over there. So you can't target them through email, but yeah, you can definitely target them through different mediums, but not email. What I'll do is, any more questions? Okay, in an email campaign, from where we get the email data for the first time. So Rahul, there are a lot of vendors available or agencies which help you do that. Getting an email campaign running, they help you arrange those. But obviously you won't have it in the first stance, but over a time of a period, you will definitely capture the emails of your customer or clients. Yes, yes, Vikram, all of those are available. So I am talking you about from the back panel. Google AdWords, Facebook, everybody gives you a very good platform to either focus on mobile platforms or even on the web platforms. So you can create a separate campaigns for that. even it's a display campaign, or even it's a mobile app install campaign, accordingly, whatever your goals and objectives are, you can definitely create that. So Vikram, you need to see the back end of it, then only you will be in a better position to judge it. Perfect. So what we'll do is, I guess everybody has my email ID and plus my Twitter handler. So I'll take on the rest of the questions onto the Twitter handler or my email ID if anybody has or anybody wants to talk to me. So the connects are there. I'll also give you my LinkedIn ID. Those who want to connect over there can do that too. So I've just pasted my LinkedIn ID on the questions window, so you can kind of see it from here.
Well,